Hi there, so this is my Stick It Down blog March sketch process video. So that's the sketch that I'm working with. As you can see, there's not anywhere where it shows to put a photo, so I kind of decided to put one in the middle of the 9 squares. I've also printed off 2 smaller photos that I wanted to try and incorporate. So I'm using mostly the Like Forever Smitten kit, which was the February kit, with a few bits of the October Like Forever kit as well thrown in there, just because I really like the papers and they seem to go together. So I'm cutting lots of squares up at 8.5 centimetres just to start for my background. As you can see, when I start to put them on, I decided to double the layers up. I saw it on Pinterest. Somebody had offset the squares slightly and I really liked that idea. But I have run out of squares, so I have to cut a few more. So I'm going to ink all the bottom layers of the squares, and then the top layers, which I'm going to offset slightly, I'm going to use a distress tool to create a bit of dimension on the edges, just to make them stand out a little bit more when you look close up. So just sticking the bottom ones down first, trying to get them lined up. So I've tried to go for the plain patterns on the bottom and the more decorative ones on the top, just to try and create a bit of contrast there. So you can see I'm just using a distress tool to the left hand side. And I'm sticking them just slightly off, so I'm just using one strip of tape just to hold them down so that I can easily move them if I decide to later on. So there's no pattern to how I stuck them on, I just stuck them down. So that's my base done. So I decided to put my photo in the middle and that it needed matting, so I've matted it on some black, and then I decided to mat it on some scraps of coloured paper. I've inked everything I think on this time, but it doesn't quite look right because it just doesn't fit in the square. The photo is too big really to be a square, so it needs to be bigger. So I decided to use 4 pieces of paper to create a bit of a collage mat type effect. So it took a bit of working about, moving the papers around to get the right effect that I was looking for. So I've tried to use the patterns that are already on the page, so I'm not adding more patterns to it, so that it does coordinate a bit better. I think in the end I just stuck them down and hoped for the best. But then it doesn't show up enough on the layout. Once I decide to try and put it there, it just doesn't pop enough. So I add some dimensionals, and I decide to then mat it again onto black cardstock just to try and create a visual piece in the middle where your eye's drawn to, rather than it blending in with the background. And there is some black in the patterns, so it's not like I've just brought it from nowhere. So I decided I wanted to use this Love, which was the Hello Love from Crate Paper, the wood veneers. So on the sketch there's 2 kind of embellishments shown either side of the title, so originally I was thinking of putting the photos there, but they just didn't work. So I'm kind of going a bit off-piste from the sketch and just adding the photos into the side of the original photo. It was quite a plain sketch, so you can pretty much do what you want with it. It just gives you an idea. So the die cuts are from the Crush collection, and the wood veneer is from the Hello Love collection. So this was Valentine's Day and we had kind of a dinner at home, so I just took some photos. And I made the cupcakes, so they create part of the story. So the love, I decided I want gold, so I just paint it gold. I was surprised how quickly it dried on the wood. I thought I might have to wait a while and then video the rest of the layout as I finished it, but actually by the time I came to put it on, it was pretty much dry. So I'm adding some foam dots to the back of the cupcake die cut, and I also add a bit of tape because I want the bottom bit to be raised up against the background, but the top part to be flush against the photo. So then I'm adding my title with a bit of glossy accents, just sticking some of the papers down now. I've decided I'm not going to move them. There we go. So I feel like that love's just kind of sat there floating about, and there were some really small heart die cuts in the pack, so I decided to use them. So I'm just inking those edges just to get rid of the white, and then foam pads on the back just to add some dimension. I'm just going to scatter these round the title and then add one to the bottom where I've got February 14th. And I'm just covering the photo because I decided that I wanted to put a bit of spritz of Heidi Shine pink ink on it. I really should have done it beforehand, but you know, these things don't always go the way you think. And also I got a bit on the title, so I decided to paint over it again. I'm just adding my journaling, which just basically says that we cooked a meal together on Valentine's Day. It wasn't. Thank you for joining us, so please head on over to the Stick It Down blog and show us what you've created with the sketch. Thanks for watching.